Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder. This is such a cult favourite amongst K-beauty fans, and I actually got this in one of my boutique BB bags last year, so I thought that I would review it for you guys. I have actually had the pressed powder version of this before, and I didn't really like it that much. So I was really interested to see if the loose powder version was any different to the pressed powder and if my opinion had changed throughout the years. So the product description says, Sebum absorption powder and mineral sebum control powder absorb excess sebum for bright, downy skin as if presently putting on makeup. Sebum absorption powder with Jeju natural minerals and mint restores an unhealthy balance of oil and moisture, leaving a refreshing finish. I'm pretty sure they mean a healthy balance. This has come straight from the Innisfree website. Anyway, it absorbs excess sebum and oil to prevent makeup from becoming patchy while correcting dull skin tone to keep the skin bright and radiant all day. This powder comes housed in a cute little mint coloured jar with a sifter to keep the powder from spilling out everywhere. The jar is only 5 grams, so this is a great travel size. It does come with a puff, but I only use this while travelling so that I can keep the powder from spilling everywhere. This powder is translucent but appears white in the jar. It also has a quite heavy minty scent. This powder is really easy to apply, and since it's loose rather than pressed, I very rarely feel like I apply too much of it. It mattifies my skin beautifully without making it look or feel very dry. I don't find that my skin looks too flat and matte after application either. I do like a little bit of dewiness to my skin, so this powder works really well for me. After an 8-hour day, my skin does look a little shiny, but it's not overwhelming, and I don't feel like I need to blot my skin either. It doesn't stop all of the oil from appearing like the description implies, but it certainly does work better than some of the other setting powders that I've tried. I really wanted to compare the Innisfree powder to my current Holy Grail, which is the Skinfood Peach Cotton powder. I used the Skinfood on this side and the Innisfree on this one. I found that they both performed similarly in terms of initial mattifying of my skin as well as oil control. The biggest difference for me is the scent. The Skinfood smells like peaches and the Innisfree smells like mint. Other than the scent, they both perform equally for my skin. I think that the Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder is a really great suggestion for any princesses who have slightly oily skin. My skin isn't very oily at all, and when I use this powder I still do get a little bit of oil throughout my T-zone. So if you have very oily skin, I don't know if this is going to be quite enough oil control. I remember using the pressed powder when my skin was very oily, so maybe I think it was like 3 to 4 years ago I tried that one. In between that time I went on a 2-year course of Accutane and my skin type has changed completely and it's kind of like more on the normal side, but I still do get the oily T-zone. So I remember using the pressed version and not liking it because it had not enough oil control for my skin. This powder is very similar to my current Holy Grail, which is the Skinfood Peach Cotton powder. So they both have the same sort of oil control. They both leave my skin looking slightly matte, but not like powdery or flat or dry, which I don't personally like. The biggest difference for me is the scent. I prefer the Skinfood scent, which is peach flavoured or scented, more than I like the Innisfree scent, which is kind of like minty. It's kind of like a sweet mint, but it's not as nice as the peach to me. I enjoy very, very sweet scents. But if you like the Skinfood one, you will probably like the Innisfree and vice versa as well. I particularly love that this comes in a little 5-gram jar as well because it is the perfect size for travel. And yeah, it's just a really, really good size. I find that these powders last forever as well. Like I could use this within like a 1.5 years maybe. I don't need anything bigger than that. So yeah, I definitely approve of the little jar. So overall, I'm not a die-hard fan, but it does get the tick of approval for me for slightly oily skin. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you next time. Bye!